Australia, the place known for kangaroos, the outback, and mermaids. Well, in today's video, we're building an Australian house in Bloxburg. If you didn't know, I have a series on my channel where I'm building houses from all around the world. So far, we've done England and America, and today is obviously Australia. And this is the house I found. It is in Queensland, and it is worth $800,000, which actually 800,000 Australian dollars is only around 400,000 pounds. And the other thing I was noticing is there were so many bungalows. The majority of these houses are just bungalows. With all that said, let's get started. Our first wall is actually a big one. It's basically the whole front is flat. And thankfully, guys, we have a floor plan. Oh, okay, it's backwards. That's not confusing at all. So this is the front of the house. Sorry, it took me a solid 5 minutes to work that out. So first of all, we've got the garage, or how would you say that on Australian? Do you say garage?
Garage.
Anyway, we're gonna be putting these doors in, and they are literally just these plain and simple ones.
You're basic.
Now, according to this floor plan, the garage goes back quite far, and it can fit a nice big chunky 2 cars in there. You guys know I always struggle with the dimensions in these challenges. Then the wall goes back around 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm just going to drag this back by 16 blocks. What is this? Michael! And thankfully, the rest of the layout is very simple. It just makes like an L shape. And oh my gosh, they have the word robe. That's so funny. I always just thought Australian people would just cut off the war bit because of their accent.
I was quoted over $7,000 for a custom walk-in robe.
Like, for example, whenever I'd watch the Norris Nuts, they'd always be like, oh, here are the robes. Then we've got a very small bedroom here and a bathroom. I mean, for Bloxburg's sake, I'm gonna drag this along one more because we all know how disgustingly triggering it is when you have to have doors shoved in like that. Look at it. How bad does that look? So this is mine and this is theirs. I'd say it's looking pretty similar, to be honest with you. So if we go to the front now, what color is this? Like, I've not seen any house like this, not in America, not in England. And that's not surprising, to be honest, because we are in Australia now. And as usual, I always have to do a portion of the video with an accent. And it just so happens that portion is going to be now. So I don't know about you guys, but I personally think that I've already got this color. Like, it's really weird. I've just got it down here. I don't want to change it too much. And apparently I've just done a daily objective. I've literally never completed the 3 daily objectives in my life. I always think about, imagine if I faked my accent from like the start. I just pretended I was from Australia and did an Australian accent. Would that mean I would have had to fake an Australian accent for like my whole channel? Honestly, that would have been the most difficult thing ever. But anyway, if you're wondering what's going on over here, basically I'm just trying to make the exact shape of the windows. And I would never do this, but we gotta do what we gotta do for the video. Now, interestingly enough, this is the first country that has actually had black windows. And it's not just this house. A lot of them have black windows. They also all have these netty things on the window. Now, I'm guessing that is due to the fact that Australia is notorious for having millions and millions of bugs. And I actually need my fellow Australians, I'm not Australian, my Australian viewers. Is it true that, like, Australia is infested with bugs? Like, is there spiders in your toilets? Because you just hear people tell these horror stories about big tarantulas in their toilets. See, nipping them when they poo in. Get a little nip up the bumhole. So please debunk this if it's not real, okay? Anyway, you probably noticed over here I'm going for some basic shapes. And that's because we've got like a little bit of custom roofage going on this side. And then, oh for goodness sake. Right, I'm actually going to do that after I place the normal roof.
12 seconds later.
And this basically looks just like it. And also, I even made the effort of adding in these little nuggets here. So there's one up there and there's one here. And as you can see, that's exactly how it is on this one. The only thing left to do is this custom roof. As I was just saying there, I find it's easiest to actually build your basic shapes on top of a roof just to get like the right shape, so you know exactly how long and how short they need to be. But there we go. Now that we've got the actual roof itself in, we just need to add the squares to make sure it all is lining up lovely jubbly. And these pillars here holding up this roof support are ever so slightly a little bit darker. But I want all the Australians watching to let me know, is this an accurate representation of an Australian house? I again tried to pick one that wasn't too expensive, because the whole point of this series is to build like the average house. And I'm not gonna lie, this is actually looking very similar and very cute. Oh my gosh. No, do you know what? This kind of looks a little bit like Ricky's home from H2O. Okay, right. Ricky lived in like an actual trailer. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, someone made Ricky's house in The Sims. If you guys want me to make any of the H2O houses, let me know. I'd be so happy to do that. Like, who else was just beyond obsessed with H2O when they were a kid? And I've got a controversial opinion. I preferred Mako Mermaids. What about you? If you've watched any of the mermaid sagas, what were your favorite? Mako Mermaids or H2O? Anyway, we've got a very like vibranty grass here. When we built the American house, the grass was like so dark. And I'm not gonna lie, these little fences either side actually look very similar to some UK ones. Some dark red wood. Yeah, decent. Like, we have this. And as always, I just bring the fences to the front, you know, just to make the build feel a little bit more immersive. Now, although this house does not have plants, I'm gonna put on screen now. As you can see, Australia is incredibly tropical. I mean, aren't they in the southern... Are they in the southern hemisphere or the northern? I think that Australia is in the southern hemisphere, which I think is tropical. That might be completely wrong. But now, what kind of car do I think Australians drive? Normally, I just try and pick like a pretty stereotypical car. Like for America, I went for the classic soccer mum car. But I feel like in Australia, I'm gonna add some sports cars because you're probably gonna wanna have your hair down in the wind. But other than that, it's time to head inside. So this is the kitchen dining. And that's a bedroom. So as you can see, I'm gonna try and explain it. This is the kitchen, yeah? And then can you see it from this angle? So the kitchen's here. Over this way would be the dining room. And then that's the lounge. Basically, the kitchen window needs to go here. And it was sort of just a double square thing, wasn't it? Just a bit of a double square moment. Excuse me. How dare you say I cannot place a window there, okay? I'm the Prime Minister of Australia. And that's the other thing. Australia has a Prime Minister. I feel like there's not many countries these days with a Prime Minister. Did you know, guys, that King Charles is actually technically the King of Canada? Oh, wait. Why am I talking about Canada? Sorry. I don't even know if Australia has a Prime Minister. I was just thinking of Canada that whole time. Anyway, as per usual, I feel like no matter what country you're in, the walls are always light stone grey. Like England, America, Australia now, everything is light stone grey. Now, when I think of Australian law, I personally think of the Norris Nuts. Honestly, guys, I know I'm 18, but I still watch them. I feel like there's no age limit on the Norris Nuts. Saber is literally 20, and I definitely won't be able to find it. But once, guys, you know, on their gaming channel, my video was actually in it. They were playing Bloxburg, and on like the recommended videos tab, my video was there. And I remember at the time, I was like, oh my gosh. Now, as for the surface tops, they're just smooth white. Literally just smooth plastic white, nothing fancy going on here. As for kitchens, so far the UK's probably had the smallest kitchen. In the detached houses, they're a little bit bigger, as we saw in the other video. So it all just this sort of luck of the draw, really. An aircon! Oh my gosh! We have not used this in a single one of the houses yet. I mean, you're definitely not getting this in England. You do get it in America, I think, and definitely Australia, because I forget. Australia is actually a really hot country. So we can swivel the POV now to this. And as you can probably see, unless you're partially blind, the kitchen island actually takes a turn for the worst. No, I'm joking. It just takes a turn. Although, for some weird reason, explain, Bloxburg, explain. Why are you not connected here? There you go. That looks pretty sick to me. Although it looks a bit bigger than their one, doesn't it? These people have gone absolutely mental chicken oriental with the fruit. In fact, they've got it on like a cake stand. I was wondering how to do this, but just pop the fruit like this. I've never seen anyone do that. Door. There's actually a door going into this wardrobe, which I find kind of fascinating. And then how I'm gonna fix this is I'm basically just gonna put a gigantic pillar here and hope for the best. And honestly, that works out quite nicely because we need to end up putting some pillars here anyway. I don't know if you could see in the picture, but there's like a little mini wall. And these ones, they look a little bit like an orangey color. And now, guys, it's time for the wall trim test. Okay, we've got wall trims on the top and the bottom. Yeah! Now, if you don't know what the wall trim test is, basically, in UK houses, we very rarely have wall trims on the top, which probably sounds like I'm actually insane, but I don't know why. I've always just found that so weird. I'm also noticing like a sliding door here. with a closet and a corridor. And it literally looks just like the plain sliding door. And so if we reference back to our floor plan, oh, that's a cupboard. Oh, okay. That actually makes a lot of sense. So there we have it. This is now looking a bit more like it. Basically, we've got another Australia original. The toilet is separate from the bathroom. I know, what the hell? I know obviously you can have this all around the world, but I just find that fascinating. Anyway, if we go back to this picture, the only thing that's missing is the dining table. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd say, oh, it's gone. I'd say it's the log table. Sorry, I didn't like me singing. And it goes without saying that these are the log chairs. And the reason it needs to be placed in the right position immediately is because we have to custom place the chairs, because they've actually gone for a 3 and a 3 system, which looks really nice. And as for the lighting, guys, they've just got like a bunch of different spotlights. Anyway, I just spent way longer than I probably should have done fixing those lights. I also sort of noticed there's like a glass door here, which is so cute. And oh my gosh, guys, my cat is just rolling around outside, licking herself. Wait, that sounds weird. But Aunt Cat is so cute. Like, I just want to go out and stroke her, but Soz building an Australian house. Can't. Now, they have got a sofa, like such an iconic one. I actually have friends with a very similar sofa to this. So it's actually pretty popular in the UK as well. But it's just like an incredibly long leather sofa. Dresser. We've got one there, and then I actually think it's a hairpin coffee table. And you can't really see that corner. So I'm guessing it looks like a dog bed or something. And I've never really made a dog bed before. I guess you can just use a bean bag. And isn't it just me, but doesn't it feel ages since the glamorous things came out, like were added to Bloxburg? That's not me subtly shading Bloxburg. I just feel like it's been ages since a big update. And it's time for a fan. So this is something we find a lot in American houses, but literally never in UK houses. And that's really the main living area. All of the bedrooms and stuff are on the left side. We have got the garage, which they don't show the inside of. So you know what that means? It's time! It's just time to take some creative license. Nothing crazy. I don't know if we have a door coming off the garage, so I'm gonna swivel this around. And let's treat ourselves. Let's get a fan up in the garage in here, people. What kind of things are screaming Australian to me? Like, what would an Australian person have in their garage? A million cans of bug be gone spray. I'm sorry, but we're not taking any risks, okay? If I'm coming to Australia, then we gotta be prepared, all right? And I don't normally do the back garden, but because today we've just got a swimming pool, I feel like we should. This is the first house with a pool. And actually, look, we get this IRL drone shot, which is really cool. And we've got a shed there. We've got a few plants. I mean, as for the plants, we'll just carry on with our beautiful palm trees. Hi, how are you? Got ourselves a little bit of outline around the pool, of course, which I really like how the outline around the pool is basically the color of the house. And then we've obviously got to add our shed in, which we have an outhouse. This is gonna be our storage sheds. Beautiful. These definitely aren't toilets, okay? Stop saying that they're toilets in the comments, okay? I know that technically they are, guys, but we don't need to draw attention to that fact, okay? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I do not know which of these bedrooms is which, so I'm just gonna build them however I want. Once again, we have just got these little windows, and honestly, I shouldn't even be calling this a small room. This is literally the size of most people's rooms in role plays. I just build mansions all the time. Do you know what my favorite time of day is? Bedtime. I think you guys probably know this about me, but I actually smile and giggle to myself when I'm getting into bed at night, and I'm just like, I'm so happy. Just watch a bit of TV in bed. It's amazing, me. I love it. Now, I've got to say, this house is a lot better decorated than the American one. Those bedrooms in that house were like flipping barren lands. So we've got our plant stuff over there. We've got a little ottoman, and then we've got like an Amazon-style desk. I say that because I literally have like that exact desk. I'm literally on it right now filming this video. And is it just me? I'm sort of feeling like whoever has this room would definitely have like a massive hippie poster on their wall. So I'm gonna add a gigantic decal, and we're gonna add a huge hippie poster above the bed. And oh crap, do you know what I've just realized? We haven't added the door to the ensuite. Okay, I've slightly shimmy-ed everything around. I know what I've really noticed about like American, Australian bathrooms, basically non-English bathroom, is you guys don't really have many tiles. You only tend to put your tiles like over the shower and the sink and stuff. Okay, guys, so next up is this bedroom. And as I said, we have no idea like what order they're going in. So I'm just gonna do actually the next one, which is this bathroom. Is this happening to anyone else lately? It keeps glitching me in build mode and I have to leave the game. Like, it's not even a reset. Like, you have to leave the game, otherwise you're stuck.
12 seconds later.
We've got also like just this block shower. Now this shower is actually underrated. I feel like people hate on that shower thinking it's really ugly, but it's actually not. Now for our little closets, I'm not too fussed about these. I'm just gonna be adding like cabinets in them. Oh wait, I think this might have been the master bedroom. Anyways, this one is basic. Oh no. We'll just have a double bed. Oh, it doesn't really fit, does it? I actually think we'll have to do that in another room. In this one, I'm gonna add like a phone so you can phone a friend. Hi. And then, not trying to be like too out there, all you have to do is spawn a desk in. Just to really spruce it up, we're gonna add an armchair. So here we are outside of the Australian home, which if we compare to the online picture and then put this one on, I actually think they look very, very similar. As a whole, this might be my favorite one so far. Don't get me wrong, I love the American and UK houses, but this one is something else. It values at $284,000. So as we walk through the front door, taking in all of the beautiful scenery, this is what we are met with. This probably feels like the most realistic house layout. I literally feel like I'm on a holiday in Australia, which I don't know if it's sad, if I'm having a mental breakdown. Yeah, we've got the dining table, we got the lounge room, and then over here we have the garage. So if we go into the back garden, which is an unusual luxury for these challenges, we have some sheds, some plants, and then the swimming pool. Now, the first bedroom we have here is this one. I just put like a fun, it'd be like that sometimes banner on the wall. I couldn't find a hippie one, okay? But yeah, this room's actually really nicely decorated. I think the whole house is, to be honest with you. As we go down, we have the kitchen, which is very nice and spacious. Like, yeah, we could have shoved an island in here, but what is the need? We just get much more room to run around and panic when we're cooking. In here is another bedroom, and then we have a little storage closet. Now, here's the interesting room. We've got the family bathroom, but the toilet is separate. Like, that is so good. So somebody can have a shower and someone can have a poop all at the same time. Then in here's the really sexy bedroom. Like, look at this, baby. We then got another closet in here, or should I say the robe. And finally, a little nursery. So there we have it, guys. I hope you liked this video. Let me know what country you want to see next, and I'll see you all in the next one.